All right, everybody. Happy Tuesday, happy holidays. It's Nomberg Law Live. It is Tuesday, 10 o'clock Central. The winter is upon us. The end of the year is here. Dave, we're here together for our annual review of the firm's activities this year. How's your December going so far? How are you feeling?
My December is going like my 2021, just going by so fast. But everything is good. I'm healthy, my family's healthy, and that's what's important right now.
You know, that is what's important, and that's been one of our focuses this year. It's focusing on family and health and our firm and the health of our firm members. And that's what 2021 has really kind of been about. It's just figuring stuff out so we can keep representing our clients, enjoying our practice the best that we can. But a lot of it is even though 2020 showed us that we can pivot, that we can keep going forward, 2021, I think, has even been as tricky at times, because just when we feel like we're coming out of the pandemic, what happens? A variant appears, and then we got to go get a booster. But that's the way life is these days. And Dave, one of the things that I'm most proud of is you celebrated your 19th year of practice. I celebrated my 26th, gosh, I'm getting old, year of practice, and we've been together for 18 years. And I think that says a lot these days. Not a lot of firms, particularly brothers, stay together like that and wade through what we've been through with Dad being of counsel all these years and kind of guiding us a little bit. And last year we brought in John Davis and we brought in Steve Altman to just fortify those practice areas that they do so well, that I'm proud of where we are. And I think we've continued to do a really fine job of servicing the clients and their needs.
Well, I think it shows a lot of maturity on my part that you and I have not fought in front of Steve and John.
That's true.
So I'm proud of that. John is doing a great job with helping our clients with Social Security Disability, and Steve is a bankruptcy rock star, and those guys just know what they're doing and really help our clients. And I'm glad that we're able to provide additional services for our clients. As you know, you and I focus on work comp and Social Security Disability, personal injury. We can help our clients with that. Steve getting involved with bankruptcy when necessary, and of course John on disability.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we have learned, or of the many things that we've learned during the pandemic, is how we can utilize the different tools that we have. You know, thankfully, the Administrative Office of Courts for the state of Alabama created some new rules and regulations for us to continue dealing with our Social Security, our workers' comp practice. We do so much virtually. And I think a lot of clients, even though they may not have been technologically savvy before the pandemic, they've caught on in a hurry, because frankly, you've had to if you wanted to see family and friends. So that Zoom world that we love so much, that we've kind of jumped into full go. And frankly, I think that's helped a lot with the work-life balance that we're all trying to find there. And I want you to kind of share a little bit of how you've evolved a little bit, because our practice, the times that we're in the office, actually at our desks, is no longer what it traditionally has been. But frankly, I think it's made us even more efficient. Yeah. Wouldn't you say?
Pre-pandemic, we would spend a lot of time on the road, whether it was traveling to court out of town or going to take a deposition out of town or sign up a client out of town. So we're behind our windshields a good bit. And since March of 2020, we've been at our desk a lot more, whether that's in the office or at home. So the technology has allowed us to work from anywhere, and we've gotten a lot more proficient at it. So we're at our desk a lot more. We're staring at screens a lot more. But because of the technology, we're able to provide services to our clients without skipping a beat.
Yeah, but it's also come with some, a lot of hurdles that we've had to jump over, dealing with cybersecurity issues, dealing with clients who insist on being in person. We've dealt with that quite a bit, but frankly, I think most of our clients understand that it is just a new time and we have to just go with the flow and figure out how we can best serve them. And
our clients have adapted pretty well to all this. And look, some of them just can't get in a car and drive to see us because they are injured. And because of, you don't want to expose anybody or be exposed. They understand that. And so that's why things like Zoom and DocuSign and email have made practice in law the past almost 2 years now be pretty seamless and enjoyable.
it has been. And what we have continued to do for almost 4.5, coming up on 5 years early next year, is we've had a ton of social media presence. Our Nomberg Law Live, we've gotten 4+ years. And I've been very pleased because some of our guests, Dave, and I know you realize this, they're civic leaders and community leaders. We've had accomplished athletes, notable lawyers, doctors, nonprofit foundation directors. We've even had comedians and artists on our show from time. And it's not just two lawyers talking about lawyerly things, kind of like what we're doing right now, but really interesting conversations with people in their areas of expertise. And that's why I really have enjoyed this show. And one of the things that I think is kind of cool is we now have people reaching out to us, asking if there's a time slot that they could come on the show.
Yeah.
And I know how much you enjoy this live banter back and forth on the show. Maybe next year we'll sell your spot to the highest bidder. But I've really, really enjoyed doing Nomberg Law Live. And the other live show that we do that I think you do enjoy is the monthly Work Comp Today. Share a little bit about that.
Sure. So once a month, we are joined by a work comp practitioner. Sometimes it's an Alabama lawyer. Sometimes it's a lawyer. We've had California lawyers on, Georgia lawyers. So we get a friend from somewhere in the country that practices work comp law just like we do. Yeah. And we take about 45 minutes and talk about the latest issues impacting work comp, both employer-employee relationship and independent contractors. So it's been real interesting to learn about what's going on nationwide with work comp, even though our practice focuses on Alabama work comp.
Yeah. It also shows the stark contrast between how our laws deal with injured workers and workplace injuries compared to other states. And you and I could spend the entire hour here talking about how much we need our laws to change, but we'll save that for another day. But we also make podcasts every week out of these episodes from Nomberg Law Live and Work Comp Today, so you can digest the material in many different ways, not just video, but also on the go. And I think that's one of the key things that we've been able to do, David, is with our communication and how we stress how important it is for the client experience. And I'm very proud of Alexis. I'm very proud of Emily and anybody else who represents our firm, that we really try to do our very best from a communication standpoint. Now, that doesn't mean the news is always going to be what they want to hear. It's going to be based in reality sometimes that really hurts them. But
that's a common thing I tell our clients, or my clients, is that you might not like what I tell you, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you what the law is. Yeah. And you're right. Communication is so important, even if it is bad news. And that's why there's a lot of phone calls, emails, and text to clients. And we've been utilizing text a lot more. That seems to, a lot of clients really like being able to text with us.
You're right. But that is one of the key things is we figure out, we ask the clients, how best is it for you to communicate with us? We want to make it as easy as possible. So whether it's texting, phone calling, FaceTime, whatever it may be, we want to make sure that we provide that service of communication. And Dave, another thing that I truly enjoy that we've done for years is serving on committees of various organizations that we support, whether it's the Birmingham Bar, the AAJ, WILG, you name it. Yeah. I really think it's so important.
Yeah. No, we definitely like to be involved. It's important to be part of these legal organizations. It's a great way to meet lawyers. It's a great way to give back, to provide service to that organization. I've enjoyed working on the fee arbitration committee with the Birmingham Bar Association. I know you've been involved in a couple of different committees with Birmingham Bar.
I'm currently on the grievance committee,
Yeah.
which unfortunately is when there are disputes between client and attorney or attorney and attorney.
Yeah. And it's been great we're both board members of the Workers Injury Law Advocacy Group. That's a nationwide group of work comp lawyers. It's been, again, going back to what we were talking about earlier, learning about how things are done in other states from a work comp perspective. And it's been rewarding to learn about that and to meet really good work comp lawyers from around the country.
The other thing that I know that we both so enjoy is speaking and attending conferences. Now, we've been for the last 18 plus months, almost 2 years. Most of those conferences have been virtual, but we've still spoken at those, and those aren't nearly as much fun as attending those conferences or speaking live, both of which we were able to do this year. South Florida, we attended an awesome conference. St. Louis, Athens, Alabama, Enterprise, Alabama, and hopefully as next year things get a little bit more under control, we'll be able to get out and about and do more of that.
Yeah, I spoke in person earlier this month in Limestone County, and that was the first time I had spoken in person. And it was good to be in person, but I kind of didn't know what to do at first. I forgot.
You know, one of the things I don't want to leave out, we were talking about social media, and we figured out with the advent and the creation of new social media platforms and tools, we can meet more referral partners, more lawyers who potentially we may do business with, and one of which was Clubhouse. We've kind of dialed it down a little bit in the last few months, but that's a fantastic way to meet up with lawyers just to discuss issues of the day. So anytime there's new social media out there, we're going to try to be on the forefront of exploring of what's going on. And lately we've looked at the metaverse and some of this AI technology that is just so next world. I don't know how much or how it will make its way into our practice, but it's kind of fun to try that stuff out and just to see what's new and evolving with artificial intelligence.
Yeah, Clubhouse was neat because you could be on there with a few people and then somebody from Canada or England would jump on and talk about their experience as it relates to whatever the topic was, and you're just this is crazy. We're getting perspectives from all around the world.
Yeah,
it was neat.
And it's different than Zoom. It's different than Twitter and all these other platforms. But anyway, it's another thing that I'm so proud of, David, that we've done since we formed our firm is continuing to give back, philanthropy, paying it forward, whatever you want to call it. We have it on our website as Nomberg Law Firm Cares. And it really is woven into the fabric of our firm. And it's so important. And Dave, I know that you don't like the public accolades, but we support Hart Gallery, Alabama, which is very close to our firm. And I'm very proud of the work that you did as president this past year or so, and the recognition, the award that you were given earlier this year. Hart Gallery, Alabama is one of our core organizations that we support.
Yeah, I only like to talk about it in the sense that if I can shed a spotlight on the organization, because it is a wonderful organization, and Hart Gallery, Alabama helps find children in foster care their forever families, and they do it well, and they've helped a couple of thousand children in Alabama find their forever families, and the stories will just bring tears to your eyes. It's a great organization. I had the honor of chairing the board the past 2 years. So my time is winding down, but it was a very rewarding experience. And it's just part of our firm's mission to help people in the courtroom and out of the courtroom. So I was honored to be a part of that.
And I think it's too easy to just write checks to support organizations. And sometimes we do that when the opportunity is correct. But giving our time, I think, and having members of our firm who represent us in the public's eye, I think that's equally, if not more important. Whether we're buying and delivering school supplies to the Birmingham Bar Association's annual drive, or just showing up to help serve meals in town, it doesn't matter what the endeavor is. It's meant with a good heart, with a good intention. And I really am proud of that work of as if anything else that we do all year round.
I know that Steve gives back as well. He's a part of leadership in several nonprofits around town, as well as his family's temple.
He certainly does. And for those of you watching us live or may catch us later on YouTube, this is Dave and my annual Nomberg Law Firm year in review. And 2021 has certainly been exciting year of growth, a year of just figuring out things as we go. And I think we're in a really good spot to continue to service and help our clients, those people who get hurt on the job, people who are looking to seek disability benefits through Social Security, people who may have been hurt in a personal injury matter, and of course through bankruptcy, with Steve just really doing such a bang up job with so much experience. He's so good at what he does. Let's see. Well, this leads us, Dave. We're now looking forward. We've looked back.
Yeah.
We've kind of recapped our 2021. I think we've got a lot of great momentum heading into 2022. What are you expecting from the practice of law, from our practice of law, or maybe within the state of Alabama in the upcoming year?
Yeah, I think our firm will continue to grow. I think we're going to continue to be able to help more and more people who get hurt at work. I look forward to doing that. I don't want people to get hurt at work, but on the other hand, if they do, we're there to help them. I think we're going to continue to have to evolve and adapt based on the new COVID variant, Omicron. We're just going to have to keep playing it safe, play it smart. I think we'll continue to do a lot of things virtually like we have been doing.
Yeah, I think you're so right. We can plan for as much as we want to try to plan in person, but what it's also taught us is we also have to have plan B and plan C in case that things change dealing with the pandemic. I mean, I'm planning a seminar middle of late summer in Hawaii. Whether or not that gets to go forward remains to be seen, but I'm going to plan it for the next 7-8 months and hopefully get to go and enjoy that. Another thing that we do, we're going to soon get to our 250th show on Nomberg Law Live. What started out as an experiment and just interviewing some of our buddies about intricacies of the law, and that we evolved it to where, as I mentioned earlier, so many leaders and interesting people have joined me on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock, present company included. I'm not trying to knock you. I know mom's watching, but hopefully we're going to get to our 250th show sometime later this spring. So I think that's a pretty good accomplishment of consistency for the firm. So I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Also, a year from now, we will celebrate our 19th year together. And during the year next year, you'll celebrate your 20th year of practicing law. I think is again, great milestones that shouldn't go unnoticed. I think like birthdays, like anniversaries, I think they should be celebrated. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, that in that same month, we will be celebrating our 20th wedding anniversary. So yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah.
That was a big month for you way back in the day. That's awesome. Well, as we conclude our year in review, I know that for next year, we're going to continue focusing on the client experience, the communication aspects of it. Hopefully we'll get to be more and more in person at the courthouse, in depositions, whatever it is that we do. But we're also prepared as needed to do things that we have to virtually. But thankfully, for the practice areas that we handle, we just continue to keep plugging away. And as we say around the firm, we just keep chopping wood. Well, Dave, I want to thank you for joining me on the show for our annual review. I hope that nothing but health, happiness, and more of the same for us and the firm and everybody who we deal with. And we certainly thank everybody, all the vendors, all the referral partners, all of our friends and colleagues who we deal with throughout the whole year. We hope we treat you as equally and as nice and as generous as you treat us.
I just want to say in closing, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year. I hope it's a healthy, safe, prosperous New Year for everyone. And of course, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, that's for sure. Guys, this is our last live show for the year. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. We've got shows planned January, February, March, and beyond. So happy, healthy New Year. You guys be well. Hope you're having some fun, safe time with your families. Take care.